Welcome to the LFC Journal. Welcome to the Liverpool FC Journal. I am Owen James. This is your Liverpool news update, guys. Obviously, please, if you find the channel, to hit a sub on the channel, like the video. We're going to talk Adam Wharton. We're going to talk Curtis Jones in this video. Now, there are all sorts of rumours been swirling around so far this week, which is obviously just beginning today. Slot to get sacked. I don't think that happens. Xavi Alonso wants player X, player Y if he becomes Liverpool manager in the summer. I think it's all very much speculation, clickbait speculation from a number of different sources across Europe, a number of different sites looking for your click to read their articles. But look, this is something that has now come up, not from just one source, but two or three very reliable sources, including some of the journos in the know, and of course Dave O'Cop as well, reporting this. Now, this has been a player who has been the subject of interest from Liverpool for a long time now. A player who it is felt could really come in and make a difference in Liverpool's midfield. A player who is excellent in the transition, who is very good at turning defence into attack. A player who is very good at breaking lines, moving the ball forward with some speed, which is something Liverpool are badly missing at this moment in time. That would perhaps free Ryan Gravenberch to do what he seems to want to do, which is get forward a little bit more than perhaps he is allowed to do in this system where he has to play as that six. And that is Adam Wharton, the Crystal Palace midfielder. Now, I think Crystal Palace are a club in danger of slipping into the relegation zone with the sales of Gahey, the manager saying that he will not be going, then the manager, so he will be going at the end of the season, and the manager then coming out and seemingly after the defeat at Sunderland, publicly criticising the board for leaving him short in a number of positions. And now it seems a number of their top players, Jean-Philippe Mateta the other day saying that he wants to leave Crystal Palace. And now it feels very much like that Adam Wharton is jumping on that I want to leave Crystal Palace bandwagon as well. This is what is being reported by Dave O'Cop. And like I said, not just him, but a number of different sources right across the more reliable ones, shall we say, in the world of Liverpool Football Club. That Adam Wharton is a genuine target for Liverpool Football Club. Now, we saw this obviously with Mark Gahey, we saw this with Antoine Semenyo, so you've still got to take it with a slight pinch of salt. Liverpool have held talks over signing of Adam Wharton. Wharton is keen on the move. There is confidence within Liverpool that Wharton will become a Liverpool player. That's as per Dave O'Cop. You know, like I said, there was this same confidence over Mark Gahey, wasn't there? And we were stung by that when Manchester City nip in ahead of us and steal a player that we were interested in. Same with Antoine Semenyo as well. You know, so look, at the end of the day, this would be look, whatever you believe on this one. And look, I'm not sitting here this morning and pretending that this is going to happen. I'm not pretending that this is 100% guaranteed that it is going to happen. But what I am saying is that this would be a very good signing, in my opinion. Adam Wharton is a very good footballer. You know, as I said at the start, he's a guy who is good in the transition. He's a guy who is good at moving the ball quickly. He is a guy who can make a big difference, you know, as a player. And he's a player who I think could really add to our midfield. Now, he is, yes, a player who is interesting a lot of clubs. Real Madrid, Manchester United, Chelsea, no doubt Manchester City as well, because they seem to basically whoever we want, they want as well. You know, he is a good player. He is only 21 years old. He's still obviously developing as a player. He can play as a defensive midfielder, a centre midfielder, an attacking midfielder. He's left-footed, so he'd bring a left-footed balance to the team. He's got great Premier League experience. He's made 31 appearances already for Palace this season, 21 in the FA Cup, 1 in the FA Cup, 5 in the Conference League, 1 in the EFL Cup, 2 in the Conference League qualifiers, and also, of course, played in the Community Shield game, where unfortunately Crystal Palace did defeat Liverpool. So, you know, he is a player with vast experience. He's made 74 appearances for Palace. He's also made 51 for Blackburn. He's played at all levels in England. So it's a guy who's going to bring an experience and I think would be a very good addition to this Liverpool side if it was one we could get across the line. And look, yes, the fee would be substantial for this player. You're looking at probably, 80, 90 million pounds for a player of Wharton's talent and ability. And obviously the fact that he's only 21 and can still develop and improve is another reason why I think, you know, he would command that higher fee. But he's certainly someone who would add to Liverpool's midfield massively. This could be, of course, A player incoming, a player outgoing in the summer could be Curtis Jones. Now, there's a lot of speculation. Paul Joyce bringing it to you this morning that Curtis Jones that Tottenham are interested in signing Curtis Jones. Look, Curtis, he's a Scouser. He's a Liverpool fan. He is a player who I think gets a lot of unfair criticism. He's a player who takes a lot of slagging off from fans, which I don't think is fair. He's a player who, yes, at times does hold on to the ball too long and slow the game down a little bit. But on the whole, I think this season has really developed, improved, and has been a fundamental part of this team. So I personally like Curtis. I think he's a good player. Now, he's under contract until 2027, and talks over a new contract apparently have slowed down. The gap between what Curtis wants and what Liverpool are prepared to offer apparently is a bit big at the moment. That is what I'm hearing. Curtis wanting a much higher wage, Liverpool not prepared to offer around what Curtis wants. So, there could be this situation where Liverpool do look to cash in him on someone. He's got 12 months left on his deal. Now, Tottenham are apparently interested. Now, I don't think that selling him in this window is an option. Given the lack of players we have, given the lack of depth to this squad, we really can't be afford to be losing first-team regulars or first-team starters like Curtis Jones. But in the summer, that could be another conversation, especially if Adam Wharton is signed by Liverpool. So, Curtis Jones to Spurs, it could be a possibility in the summer. I certainly don't think it is now. I personally would like to keep hold of Curtis. I think he's a good footballer. I think he's someone who can add to this squad, can offer some good depth to this squad. And certainly, when we've got a squad that isn't, I don't think anywhere near deep enough, isn't as deep as Manchester City's, isn't as deep as Arsenal's, isn't as deep even as Villa's, even perhaps is Manchester United to some degree. We do need to be hanging on to these players who can start, who can play first-team football, bringing in and keeping that depth. So, I do hope that, we can explore some possibilities. I think the worrying thing is that around our midfield at the moment, with Alexis McAllister, Dom Szoboszlai, Ryan Gravenberch and Curtis Jones, there is still a lot of contract uncertainty over those players. And I would hope that Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards could find a way and push ahead with getting those deals done. It does seem that this is something that Liverpool are not good at, which is getting contracts over the line. And it is a worry and a concern going forward. I think if we can tie a midfield down, those four players especially, then add to them with the likes of Wharton in the summer, it will put us in a very good, strong position going forward, no matter who the manager is. Guys, let me know your thoughts on those stories, on Adam Wharton and on Curtis Jones. And also, please remember to like, comment, share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching the Liverpool FC Journal. Catch you next time.